So, jetzt nochmal.
Okay.
Jetzt höre ich dich.
Okay. Now I'm online. Thank you.
Okay, so what was it? Let's figure out, you understand why, what was the problem?
No, I couldn't hear you, but I could see everything.
Okay.
So,
But now we hear each other. Oh, let me, shall I leave these comments on? Yeah, let's leave them on. And everybody, if you want to ask a question, there's a question mark down there. And after the tour, I'm sure Jeppe, you're all right to answer some questions, right?
Yes, of course.
Sure. Okay, cool. So, welcome everybody. We are at König Galerie St. Agnes in lockdown, and we're quite optimistic. It's a beautiful day outside, which we're also going to look at a little bit. There you see a work by Jeppe. But let's start at the beginning of the exhibition, I would say, which is in fact maybe the book, I guess, no? Or where shall we start, Jeppe?
Yeah, let's start at the book, just show that. And then actually I prepared also that I can show how to do the singing bowl painting here on my floor. So when we come to that work, I have a bowl standing here on my floor and I will show you right here.
Okay.
So, but I can explain you that the book, it's like it all started with this, with the book called Nothing Appears, or Nothing Is as It Appears. It's very difficult to say actually. And it's a book with 55 artworks of mine. Compare these artworks to 54 yoga poses. So we decided to do this kind of exhibition at the gallery where we trying to show the works. And that last week we had like kind of this yoga session where some of the works was made. So the interest for me is to see what do I found out. So now my dog is starting to do something here. The interesting thing is for me is to see how can these two things combined in the art works of mine. I get kind of I get the same feeling when I do art than I do when I create yoga or standing on a pose, which I'm standing right now on my new yoga mat, which we'll come back to in a bit, I think. But so you can see Johan is going through the book where you can see I have made also watercolors on top of the yoga poses just to try to increase the interest and also to make focus on where this yoga pose I think activating something in your inner core, but also in your life. Of course, some of the yoga poses I can't do myself. They're too complicated, but it's mainly just to get an inspiration about the artwork and the yoga piece. Sometimes it's more like about the effect inside. Sometimes it's more visually, and sometimes it's mentally. So it's like all these kind of dialogues I'm trying to create. And Johan, why don't you take the first work, which is somehow the Savasana over. This is a frequent watercolor. So when you're entering the,
you mean here?
Yeah. So when you're entering, we could take that one. When you're entering your gallery right now, you're going towards that, and the first thing you see is this blue wall with stripes on. There is the neon box to the left, and then these balloons hanging. Yeah. So the balloon here is called thoughts, and it's again the balloon is for me kind of a way of trying to let go of things, of feelings, of situations, and also feeling grounded. So 3 of the balloons are attached to the ground, which is of course saying that I'm stable, I'm here, I'm right here, right now. And then you have 1 balloon which is flying away from the other ones, hanging in the ceiling as you see there. It's like thoughts flying away and giving a smile, but also giving like a more like a way of thinking about life. As you can see, this is a new piece I did for the gallery. So it's like 3 balloons hanging more or less in these strings. And they are all 2 different colors. So each balloon has 2 different colors standing on a piece of wood hanging so they're not flying away in the church. And so you see, so the balloon on this up there is like purple and golden yellow, orange, I think. So trying to work with different colors and different aspect of the color of the balloons. Of course, if you see from one side it's one color, if you go around, so you try changing the perspective of colors, as you can see also here, the red, the orange, the golden one, the green in the back on the wall. And of course you reflect the surroundings, so you see also Johan in the balloon or yourself when you are close to it. So it's all about trying to involve people, engage with the artwork. which is my work is a lot about. So of course, a lot of these people works is also about reflecting, but reflecting also looking into your own life.
Yeah, and this one here.
Yeah, frequent watercolor is a piece which you go close, you can see this small, very small dot is almost like a universe. And I made it with a singing bowl, which I like to show you here. I have here, actually right now I'm not in my big studio, I'm in my forest studio. So I'm a place where I'm trying to hide myself and no one is there. I mean, my kids are there right now and my dog, but otherwise I'm alone. So if you're looking here, I'm just turning this around. I think this one. Here. If you look here, this is like the singing bowl I'm talking about. So you can hit it and it's creating a sound. And so I prepared it down here actually. So here I did it. So this is the singing bowl I have. How I do, I just show you how we do the painting. And then I have today I've chosen blue color. And if you slowly hit on it, you can see here the frequency start to move in the water. Oh, and if you do a little bit more, you start to see actually that is jumping up the ball.
Yeah, but are you doing this by hitting it, or also by like circling around it until a moment where it kind of?
No, I'm also circling it. I can
like this, right?
Like this. Yeah.
It takes just longer and focus, and then there's a climax somehow.
Now you can see. It's not so easy to do with one hand on the camera, but it's working.
So here you see the circle. There was a singing bowl standing. You also can see it somehow a little bit in the paper sometimes, huh? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So this is how I create them in a way. Of course, the paper is on the floor like this.
Yeah.
And then you take the ball away. If you move this one, when I move this one, then of course you a little bit can see. Now I just a little bit fucked it up, but normally
okay.
It's like,
so sometimes it works out, and sometimes, of course, you have to. Not each one. You have to be selective. You choose them.
Yeah, exactly. So
and then you took different colors in.
Yeah, then you move around.
Oh, look at this!
Then you change the color on the. You take the color or take a new ball, and then you bring on top, and then you do the same. So it's kind of a very meditative work where you.
Oh, it's my shadow. I thought there was a stain. And tell me, did you invent that?
It started when I was in Thailand for some years ago. I met a Buddhistic monk who was giving me massage with the singing bowl on the body because we are 7 or 80% liquid or water. In this sense, they were very interesting to have them on their body, hitting on them. And then I decided, why don't you try to put some water in and see how that works? And then I put color in. So then I created really slowly these kind of paintings. And now quite often when I have like shows, bigger shows, museum shows, we're doing the workshop. So we have that in the middle of a room, not in the school where the school kids are coming only, but actually in the middle of exhibitions so people can do their own singing bowl while some of my works are there. We didn't do that, but maybe we can. Now we are not allowed to gathering in the gallery. Otherwise, we would do a singing bowl workshop at the gallery, of course.
But what I meant is like, do you know anybody else who has done that, or did you really?
No.
You invented it.
Yes. I think I have never seen it before. Yeah.
I mean, someone else maybe parallelly did it, but there's no art practicing.
No. But I also talk with Buddhist monks and stuff. People who are working with these things for 30 years and they never saw it before. So of course
many generations. No, I mean this. Isn't this like something which is around for? I mean, how many?
Yeah, there's different meanings about it. Of course, the bowls are used by Buddhist monks and also other religions to give up some kind of offering to the gods. And this is a very old one I can show you, which I have. It's very beautiful. And there's a like inside you don't really see it, but there's a very beautiful pattern. But that's the kind of then you're giving it to the to the gods, and you have something inside. And then now I heard that from the end 60s in Los Angeles, where people really started to experiment with a lot of things, then actually they started to use it as therapy, the balls and the but there's a lot of different theories about it.
So maybe we continue to this work here behind me.
Yeah.
Which was in this case a performative project you did with visitors of the space when we were still open. So each of these lines, I mean, they were not as experienced or professional as you are, but in theory, each of these lines is one breath, right?
Yeah, one exhale. Yeah.
Oh, exhale.
Yeah.
Oh, it's only so you have the paint and then you do it like this, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you inhale the world and you give out the world something when you exhale. So this time is like you're exhaling. As long as you exhaling, you do the lines. So some of the lines are smaller, some of the lines are higher, depending on how long you're exhaling. And it all started 10 years ago when I needed to start practicing my breath again because I lost it completely. So I did these very small breathed lines, and it became very big lines of exhaling. And then one day I gave the pencil out to people. And it ended out last year in New York, where I had this climate summit in UN at the United Nations, and in Central Park did these very big, large-scale artworks. The first big artwork in, I think, more than a half a decade in Central Park, where I invited thousands of people coming and making a statement about their breath, but also the environment, about the climate, and we are all together in a way within our. Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have this neon box on. Do you want to talk about that?
Absolutely. It says
so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what about Johan? If you're looking into it on a journey to myself, you look yourself in the mirror. So how do you feel it when you see things? What is your journey?
I mean, with this one, it's interesting. I was working in the office here at night at some point, and I think the neon box said, "Let me love you," and it dealt with like self-acceptance. And then I looked up. I was like working on something time sensitive, and I saw that. And I thought that's really actually a key message, and really hit me. This one, I don't know. I'm not on the journey yet, I guess. But it's really interesting because sometimes on art fairs, some people react so emotionally to some of these sentences, and I think it really depends, and that's why I think makes your work so great, that it's very much about the connection. Sometimes the connection is more there, and sometimes less. But I think indefinite, it's a great what you challenged here, because you see it kind of comes out of the tradition of minimal art, I would say, because it has these like not handmade, perfectly fabricated, industrial made things, which comes from Judd and so on. But at the same time, you also add a new quality of neon art, which I think is so difficult after Tracy M. and Bruce Nauman. But with using the spyglass, there's like this milky presence of the neon light, but then also you see yourself. So it's very, very interesting.
Yeah, so as everyone knows, they definitely saw some of the neon boxes, a lot of people. But like this is the dialogue I'm having with myself. All these questions I'm coming up with and putting into the neon boxes is dialogues I'm trying to find with me and myself, and trying to give that out as an inspiration. I'm not trying to learn anyone anything, but of course I'm trying to inspire people in their lives.
And this year?
This is called You. And it's a very small piece. It's a hole in the wall. You're looking in, and actually in there you see your own eye, or you see yourself. First of all, you're getting a little bit afraid about what's going on. Is there standing a guy in there? And then it's very funny to see now you and me, and then you're also looking into something now, or we all do, in a kind of telephone or screening. But the idea is that you're looking in, expecting something else, and actually what you see is yourself. And actually, if you look very close around your eye and just focus on that, you will be able to see really how you feel. It's very so it's a kind of small surprise, and also a little strange to look into a hole. You have a lot of I think links and references to what a hole in a wall can be, and here is something about yourself.
And then a lot of fascination comes from this piece, I think.
Yeah,
which is your breath, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just moving around. It's called Breath, and this is like these 21 glass bubbles of glass. They're different sizes, they're different colors, and I make them in Berlin together with a guy who make broken glass, and we have to work together very closely. So I just got this for my daughter, the spring flower. I'm sorry to interrupt you with that one.
That's always flowers are always a reason to interrupt.
exactly.
Oh, this was wrong.
But anyway, sorry.
Don't touch your face, and I should not cough into my hand.
No, that's true. But it's difficult. But the breath is like we kept my breath. I was blowing into this ball 4 to 5 to 6 times. They're all different sizes because it's very close to being this work together with my breath and his way of movement was very complicated and very beautiful. So we're creating this kind of holding my breath in a way. I've kept my breath in these 21 mirror reflecting, I would say, glass balls. And I decided to put it on this very long pieces of wood, which is like 8.5 meters long, which was a difficult piece of wood to get into the gallery and actually to transport it. But I like that.
It's one piece, right? There's no.
It's one very long piece, and I like it very beautiful because it's somehow also going from the room, the chapter room that you have, and it's like a little bit breaking out to the gallery room. So it's actually inviting people in. So it's like breaking this kind of, when you have a wall in the gallery, it's breaking up a little bit this kind of dialogue and opening more up for
like inviting, like leading into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, and then, or actually maybe some people don't really understand what kind of space this is. Very high, 6 meter high former chapel. And then maybe we continue with
the chakra here? It's actually the side gallery. You have your main room, and then in next to the room you have this side chapel, which was used for what? What is it used for exactly?
It was there was a main chapel and the side chapel, Nebenkapelle.
Okay.
And we call it chapel. This one we call chapel. The other one we call nave.
Okay.
So this is like one of how many chakras?
We have, we have a lot in your body, but we have 7 main chakras, which is divided up from above your head through the third eye. You have the throat chakra, you have the heart chakra, then you have the solar plexus, which is this one. Then you have the hara chakra closer there, and then you have the root chakra. But this is the solar plexus, which we all know. The solar plexus is somehow standing for identity, intuition, standing for responsibility and stuff like that. So this is all things which is very like Baugefühl, like emotional. So this is the area where we're feeling a lot. So I created these kind of 7 light mirror objects, trying to combine the chakras form, but of course using my inspiration as an artist, but also as a person doing a lot of yoga, trying to create that 3D, meditating a lot about it, and then getting this kind of feeling about that object.
I'm just getting the book and wanted to check what you connect to this one.
Yeah.
In the which yoga pose are you connecting to this one?
This pose is, I think, it's the chair pose. So it's one where you're bending. I can't actually show you, but you're bending your knees and you're putting up your arms overhead.
This one, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this is again. So this is not the same chakra which is in the book. I think. Try to show me the book. I think
each one has a different pose. Yeah, each chakra.
Each chakra has a different pose. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then this one, I think it's quite subtle. You need to give it some time, right?
Yeah, it's called Surrounded and Me, or Me and the Surrounding. We have called it, and you have to give it a time, and you have to stand still. But it's
very hard for me. Very hard for me.
But it's a round circle, 150 wide, and it's like broken mirror, but it's colored with kind of a blue-green surface, and the mirrors are somehow broken a little bit. Maybe you go very close to it, and then it turns. So somehow you see yourself in different perspective, but also angles, and it's breaking all the time. So you're moving around, although you're standing still, and it's like opening up for the surrounding, I would say, around you. So if you see other people in, it's inviting people in, being part of you, but also like a little pixel. It's very difficult to see live. But
if you look at the shape, You see the
Yeah,
movement.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And oh, actually, why is this one? What is it? Green?
Yeah, it's greenish. Yeah.
And why?
Greenish
Why
blue,
did?
and then you see you have this line around. Yeah, because we're trying to use some new material, trying to create like more like an open, oh, not because mirror, as you see, we're coming to some mirror phases in the mirror project. You will show me some mirror pieces. It's always reflecting one to one, and I try to give this filter on top, trying to make it more interesting, to go closer to it, to see yourself closer, because from far away, as you see, you don't really see the mirror effect, so you have to go a little bit closer.
Here
try
you
to
see
work
now with a bigger distance. With a bigger distance, you see the movement.
The movement in the other light object. Yeah.
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 But
it's very nice
fixed.
with all these. It's very nice with all these. I don't know. Sorry to say, because I've never done this before. But it's very nice when people singing hearts. You have these hearts driving up on your screen.
Yeah, it's very little, guys. Come on, engage a bit more. We need your love. We need your love. So, and then maybe, but they don't. Obviously, they don't listen. There's no hearts coming anymore.
Okay.
Come on. So, and then these works here, which is this is one work. It's a diptych.
Yeah. Oh, now we get a lot of hearts.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much for using here the morning time from my wooden studio in Johan's Gallery.
I mean, what I must say is really interesting that even it's social distancing. This brings us together. When have we done this together? Discuss your work at length. You know, I mean, there are also positive sides to it.
No, I definitely think it's very nice. We connecting in a way without being very close to each other.
Yeah,
and I think actually. Although when we're getting hearts now, and it's a way of respecting that what we're doing, but also like sending a piece of hello, and I think it's very beautiful. And actually, it's coming. Normally it can be very distant, but I think actually when you are live on and you have people chatting to you, I kind of like that it's getting very personal for me, but also for the people listening.
Absolutely.
And it's very emotional. Thank you very much for being part of.
It's interesting. Also, you see, I'm disappeared.
Yeah.
Right? You don't see me at all anymore.
No. So this is like two different pieces of mirror, and one is concave and one is convex. So one going out and one going in, but it's the same cut and it's the same shape in a way, but one going just a little bit out, like only like 1.5 centimeter, and the other one going in. That's why you have one.
You really can't see it. Like if you look from here, you would think that it's really.
It's very flat.
Really coming out, but it's like also I don't want to touch it now. But if you touch over it, you can't really feel the.
So if you stand in front of that, you will see you several times like this. Try to go in front of one of them and then go in front of the other one. If you go straight.
So here I see myself twice.
Yeah, twice or third time or fourth time. Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, here we go. Now it.
Yeah. And if you go to the other one, it's completely different. It's going in. So you don't really see yourself, you're disappearing.
This
also very
me,
how can you stand in front of a mirror without seeing yourself? It's very nice.
No, but this reminds me of times with your work on art fairs, like long time ago, where I had to tell the people like, no, you have to stand here on this spot and then look there to understand it. Because I so urgently needed to convince them that how it works. And then one of my absolute favorite.
No, but when you talk about this, it's actually about the next piece you want to show, because it's also about movement and be connected. No, okay, this one, okay.
Oh, which one you were thinking of?
I was thinking about the flame, because this is but let's take this one. Yeah. Almost Nothing, it's called. And it's a small glass bubble, which is like 30 centimeter, like a little bit over a feet wide. And inside there's a small ventilator, which you can't really see, but it's up there. And you have the small, a small feather flying around. And I mean, sometimes the small things in life is very, very, very important to be aware of or be concentrated about. So if you stand there for some seconds or half a minute, just look at this and trying to have your thoughts going away, and just be focused on what this does. And maybe creating a small meditation or looking at your breath is very beautiful, just to watch and see the small feather dancing, I think.
Nice with your background sounds from the birds.
Yeah, thank you. I can just go out here.
And you really don't hear the ventilator, huh?
No, you don't hear the ventilator at all. No.
It's also nice here how we see your other sculpture. Shall we continue? Let's look at the flame then, no?
Yeah, let's do the flame.
And this is of course done maybe like you arranged this entire show. It's very thought through, right? Like you're welcomed by the neon box. Like you come into the main door and see this from a long distance. Then you also find this by surprise here, as if it cut loose from here, and then this leads you into the space. I'm sure a lot of people miss this one. And then, of course, I would say that the circular element here in the back has to do with this, like, right? You did that all on.
Yeah. So if you go a little bit to the side, you see only just one flame. So the box is like a little bit bigger than the other boxes I'm doing. Sorry, it's called 108. So it's like, if you see this piece, try to go a little bit to the side, Johan, you only see one flame. Only one flame. Like so when you see this piece first, you see the small one flame in the middle, and you think, oh, okay, what is this? It's not so interesting, I think. And then when you move towards the middle part,
here you see it. Here you see it now.
Here you see one very, very small in the middle of the screen.
Wow, I mean, this is a beautiful picture here.
Yeah,
look how the brick walls continue.
Yeah, exactly, and the breast pieces, and then you go very close, and then you're starting to. And then it starts to open up, and then you have 108. So you have one, and that reflects the 108. So it's kind of standing alone, but again, keeping people together, connecting us within. The same as the piece behind you with the broken mirror. The way you see yourself, and then you connect with the rest of the world. So yeah.
I mean, I must say the real experience is so much stronger, and of course, as much as we can try to. Kind of replace this experience of art, but this is something which is interestingly physically to experience, and then you also really wonder how that's actually possible.
Yeah, it is a small real flame. It's not it's like, of course, a secret, but it is. There's not so. I can tell you, Johan, it is a real flame with like an oil candle. But so it can go there for many weeks without having to do anything. And of course, there's small mirrors reflecting the surrounding. So they're reflecting this only one flame in a way. And we had worked on it for several years, as you know, trying to get exactly that effect. And when you see people when I'm in the gallery and just trying to be anonymous on the wall, and I see people going around and they see this, and you can see the reaction. Oh yeah, there's nothing in, and then they're coming towards, and then they see this opening up. Then they somehow like, oh, what is that? And it's very beautiful to see.
So let's look at this one here also.
Yeah.
In an extended way.
Yeah.
So this is like, yeah.
Oh, you said, tell me what you see.
Yeah, you said it's a geometry. I see. I mean, this is a quite minimal one, and of course it ideally works with a lot of people. But also here it's very nice with the nature, how it corresponds with I don't know. It's like it's like we see ourselves in relationship to the space. I really like these details, for example. That the sky, at the edges, here. Elements like this, or also when you walk into it like this, how nature doubles, but also it's been cut up somehow. And then it's of course it's stainless steel, but it looks super light and elegant.
Yeah, it's like when you're raising mirror on high polished stainless steel in the nature. It's of course just opening up the space, which can in your garden or somewhere. It's just opening up and giving a new perspective in the place. As you see now, how you're looking, you see somehow through, but at the same time, it's cutting out some of the building behind and then adopting the surroundings like the mirror inside, which I think is beautiful. And it's all like changing within. You also have now your birds around you, I can hear, but it's also beautiful how the nature and the surrounding just changing within the mirrors. Of course, you have every day when you look out of this mirror piece or a mirror piece in general, It's like different. Actually, over there, that's one of my favorite pieces from David Sinke. It's like the palm tree standing there. I think it's very beautiful. I should have one in my garden here as well with my trees, but I don't have that much money.
It's a good moment to buy art now. More
What do you
important than
mean?
ever.
Yeah, especially for the artist, I would say. Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Then you have a small Claudia Compt here, but actually my wife will give a tour through the garden. I think tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. So also on Instagram. So maybe we switch over to some questions now. Thank you, Jeppe, for this great show. I'm very happy about.
We just need to show one thing. This is like we just came out with a yoga mat, you and me, in König souvenirs.
Ah, I forgot. Yeah. I'm such a bad marketeer.
Yeah, I know, but I'm helping you a little bit.
Okay, let me get back in.
Let's get back in here, and I show you, because maybe I should turn it around. If you look here, I will swap my home. Sorry. I will swap. Look here. Here is standing. Oh, there's coming some dirt on it. So, König souvenirs. So this is like a piece which we just coming out now. It's a yoga mat, and it's actually these look like this, and it's like my breath. So I did this kind of breathing line. So it's all exhaling, going down like this. So as everyone know, as someone doing yoga, yoga is a lot about breathing, actually breathing technique and being within the moment of the asanas, which is the pose of the yoga exercises. So we're creating this yoga mat with this recycling and it's recycling plastic bottles which on the surface. And if you look on the surface now, it's a little bit dirty because I've just been doing yoga. It's very, very beautiful and very, very special. First of all, I had a dialogue with Johan because I thought it was too slippery. Because it's a very special kind of I don't know, material, which is very nice to sit on. And in the beginning, I thought it was actually slippery, but actually it's not. And now I've been practicing a couple of weeks, not weeks, but 1 week, a lot every day. And it's becoming better and better. And I think it's very beautiful to stand on a yoga mat and you're always thinking about your breath and it's like reminding you about your breath when you're doing it. So that's.
But I think also the stripes go the good energy, right? Goes the right. Like if you go up and down, you like follow the. It goes with the flow somehow.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's very.
And everybody, I think it's going to launch due to Corona transportation issues. I think it will be out in early June. But we really appreciate if you do a pre-order, of course. And it's going in the. It's like in the extension of these products. We did with Monica Bonvicini. It's for each Trump voter, like a guilt hat to feel the guilt. This is a cucumber soap by Erwin Wurm, which is also good for these times right now to wash off the dirt and the corona. This is a solidarity hoodie with like a text to Jews, the European Union hoodie. Anyway, so we are very grateful to the Jeppe Hein yoga mat, and also on our online shop you can buy also this book. It's also good for now for practicing yoga at home. It sells at 1980. Okay, so let's head to some questions, no?
Yeah, if anyone have questions.
Yeah, wait here, it's coming. This one.
Oh, how do I develop a project? Yeah, it's very different depending on where it is and how I got invitation. Normally, it could be like Johan asked me, do you want to do a show at St. Agnes? And we had a dialogue about how to do that. And me and Johan, if we're doing with Johan, we combined a lot and trying to work about what do we want to how do we want to show, which kind of work do we want to show, what did I do last time? Last time was a very performative work up in the big room. So I'm trying to somehow to create something new for the visitors every time. If you are invited by a city or like a museum for commission outside or collector, normally you make a proposal. And I'm giving a proposal, working with my studio and my architects and so on, and making a very beautiful proposal. And then it's just how it becoming somehow a dialogue between me and the collector. I'm in the museum and the city. I'm never just giving out saying take it or leave it. I'm trying to start a dialogue to find site-specific situations, and of course to work with the surrounding which are around. I hope that was a little bit like an answer.
Okay. Then here's one which is actually good. This one. Maybe this gives the answer here already.
Yeah. No, this is because because I think that because first of all, that's a good question actually. But I thought it would be easier because it's not so much about the silhouette. Of course, Daniela, which is like a yoga teacher and working for Spirit Yoga here in Berlin, she can do all the poses. And if I should do it, I'm not sure that the silhouette will look so beautiful as they do there. Although I could do that.
But I think it's because you did it with her together. She's on the book.
Exactly.
And it's her. She did all the poses, and then and then it was just how you call it.
It was like a collaboration. Yeah. We worked together with one of my architects called Serena Förster, and she somehow came up with the idea. And then and I painted a little bit on it, so to open it up a little bit, like you can see here, I painted the ocean she's standing on. So each side had a little bit of like creative direction.
Did you see the new question?
No.
Why? It says, I didn't know that your practice is related with yoga. Can you explain a little?
Yeah. This is like, no, this is not all my work. It's not about yoga, but I'm trying to also sometimes to create different aspects of my practice, my everyday life. And I'm doing a lot of yoga, and I found out, or actually one of my architects, Katerina, said, why don't you see that? She made the link for me. I'm doing all these artworks and trying to develop new artworks to myself within the relation. And in that, I used yoga as a tool for myself. And the same feeling, as I said in the beginning, I think the same feeling I'm getting when I was standing on the yoga mat, trying to do these different poses, which sometimes is very difficult for me or sometimes not. So it's not about getting the feeling, doing a very strange pose with standing on one leg and one tongue and so on. It's more about what kind of feeling does it create when I'm right there in the moment when I'm doing it. And can I create and bring that feeling outside the mat to rest of my day and rest of my life? And this is also, so that feeling is it's very important. And sometimes it's very different feelings, of course. Sometimes I'm getting very sad. Sometimes I'm getting very happy. Sometimes I get very relaxed. It's all about these different emotions. But that, of course, this is kind of inspiration, and this is the same feeling I have when I do art. So to combine an inspiration about that.
This one I like a lot here.
Can you read it? Because I can't see half of it, because I made my telephone very, very big, because I don't need glasses.
Okay.
So
I need glasses, as you can see. I have to push them always to the front. But I need to move them really up front to see it. What does the title "Nothing is as it appears" means to you?
Yeah, it means like it's depending on how you see your life and how you live your life. But a lot of things are perspective. When you project a lot of things in your life. And actually, when you meet someone, new person on the street, you will look at this person, and this person will have a kind of certain energy, but they also have clothes on, and you will right away put this person in a box. So that this is like the banker, or this is like the hippie person, or this. And then when you start to talk about with the people, something new thing will appear. So this is not what you expected. This person can be actually. This person can open up your heart in a totally different way as you think. So it's more like the thing which you think in the world actually different. That's what I'm trying to do with the title.
Okay, then benutzt du is there a special blue tone you're using, and if so, which one?
Yeah, I'm using I just find it here. I'm using the blue, which is called ultramarine blue, and I'm normally using stockmark colors, which is organic. I just turn it around here. This one here. So it's called Stockmar Ultramarine Blue.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's because I'm using it because that the sky today is blue, and the ocean is blue, and my eyes are also blue.
Mine also, at least they used to be blue. So then maybe this as a last question. What piece of Jeppe's work caught my attention? The one work which, it was the moving wall Jeppe did at the degree show in the Stilschule in Frankfurt. Maybe you can explain, Jeppe.
Yeah, but when I studied in Frankfurt, I just started 3 months ago. There was a Rundgang as the title, a school exhibition. And I was very nervous, and I'm trying to make a lot of research about how people engage with social life and work in office building. So I did this very strange piece where people had to sit strangely together. And one night or one day before the exhibition, I just woke up at night saying, this is very, very bad work. I had to do something else. So I went to Bauhaus, which is like kind of the place where you buying things. And I brought a garage motor. I got very focused on it. And I took that garage motor, built into my studio. And the day before, I've been working on I looked for some books of Speer, the architect of Hitler at that time. And what was interesting for that was that all these standardizing things, of course, I was not agreeing with it, but I like these standardizing a lot of things. So I was very inspired by his moving walls. So I built a wall, putting into the, it's very complicated, but to explain a little bit here, but I built a wall. So when you sit on a small bench, right next to you, there came a wall driving out like a very big wall. How separate you from the rest of the room. And when you stand up again, the wall drove in again, so you couldn't see it. You could only see the cut in the wall. So this was the first piece, which was interactive piece with like activating a lot of things in me, because I could see how much need there is to open up people's hearts and be connected and be social.
And then also shortly after, you had all these like moving elements, the moving benches at Frankfurt Kunstverein. And then actually kind of Jeppe found more me than I found him, because then he kind of encouraged me to come with him to Italy, and then convinced me that it's a good idea to open a gallery. So it's like, long story. Anyway, thank you for that, Jeppe.
Sorry, I'm
for this in the first place, because without you, I wouldn't be I wouldn't be a gallerist. And also thank you for this tour. And thanks everybody for watching. And tomorrow we have another tour at 10. I don't know what actually, but something's gonna happen. Another artist, of course, will guide us through something. And stay healthy and safe. Thank you, Jeppe.
Thank you very much. Thank you for looking by. Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Jeppe.
Thank you.